13. Hey guys, Mark McKillian with Live Anabolic, and today I want to talk to you guys about how intensity affects our testosterone. Really important subject. You guys need to pay attention. Alright, so guys, as we get older, you've heard me say this over and over and over again, it's really important to do everything we can to increase our body's natural production of testosterone. And it's because as we age, our body just produces less and less of it every single year. So we peak out someplace in our mid to upper 20s, and then we slowly start to decline. Our T levels do as we age, and it's normal for everybody, me included. And you lose about 1 to 2% of your natural production of testosterone every year. And so, you know, as you can imagine, I'm 58 years old. That really accumulates. But there's some things we can do if we're smart to try to offset and minimize that decline. And one of them is exercise. Now, guys, I'm shooting here in the gym today, which is unusual, okay? Normally you see me at home working out, all right? I work out at the gym all the time, okay? But I love to create workout programs at home for all you guys that don't have gym memberships. But the reason I'm here today shooting is because I see so many people in this gym week after week, month after month. They're working out and they never change. They never look any different. All right? And it's because of intensity. So they're going through the motions. They're lifting the weights. They're in here for an hour, hour and a half, okay? But nothing really changes to their physique. And it's really not because of the exercises they're doing or not doing it. It's because of the lack of intensity that they're putting into their workout. So let me explain real quick how this all works, okay? So normally when you're just kind of going through the motions and you're not pushing yourself hard, okay, that's called aerobic activity. So if you're jogging slow and steady, all right, where you can still breathe and still talk to your buddy, that's aerobic. That means with oxygen. It means your muscle fibers are getting enough oxygen every single second to combine with all the other chemicals in the muscle cell, all right, to keep pace with the contraction and the energy level or energy needs of the muscle, okay? But when you start pushing yourself really hard, like if you're sprinting, if you're running really fast, if you're lifting a heavy weight to failure, all right, you run out of breath, right? So that's an anaerobic activity, meaning without oxygen. So your muscle fibers are trying to contract and they need oxygen to combine with all these chemicals to create that contraction, all right? Well, there's not enough oxygen coming, all right? It's being overtaxed. Even though you're breathing really hard, you still can't get enough oxygen to those muscle fibers. And so what happens is your body's pretty smart. So instead of just stop firing altogether, the muscles produce something called lactate. It is a temporary source of energy in lieu of the oxygen, because remember, we don't have enough oxygen coming in because we're doing something really intense, all right? And so your muscles can continue to contract with this new chemical that it's producing called lactate, and then of course you get so much of it going in your system that you build up lactic acid in your bloodstream. And of course the lactic acid is what that pain or that burn in your muscles, okay? That's what we're shooting for, guys. So when you start creating that lactic acid, it's because you're using a really high intensity exercise or you're pushing yourself really hard. And it doesn't matter what it is. I don't care whether it's sprinting outside, whether you're doing a bench press, whether you're doing leg press, it doesn't matter. When you're pushing yourself to exhaustion as hard as you can, that is an anaerobic activity which starts to produce lactic acid. And guess what? Why is that important? It's because that sends signals to our brain, okay, to our pituitary gland, to all those, you know, things going on in our body, and it tells our body to ramp up our natural production of testosterone and growth hormone. All right, both of those are really important, guys. And our bodies just aren't nearly as efficient as they were when we were in our 20s and we had just tons of testosterone and tons of growth hormone no matter what we did, all right? So before I show you my version of a really intense set, let me just mention super quick, because this is kind of, I'm talking about testosterone and growth hormone and that kind of stuff, is you need to check your testosterone level. I do it once a year, okay? And my T levels are doing pretty darn good, so I'm happy, but it doesn't matter, I still get them checked. And it's never, ever been easier. I mean, we live in a really good time now. There's a neat company called Let's Get Checked, and it's really fun because it's so easy.
By the way, guys, Let's Get Checked has sponsored this video. If you want to get 30% off your purchase, be sure to use the code Anabolic30. And go check out the product at the link trylgc.com.
There's no reason not to know what your T levels are. Let's Get Checked has made it super simple and really affordable. So I want to kind of get across today what I'm talking about when it comes to intensity. So here we go. This is what I see most people do, okay? And it's not just us older guys doing it this way. I see the younger guys doing it too. And guess what? They do it this way month after month after month, and they look the same. All right, so this would be a typical set, all right, on a chest press machine where they're doing, say, 10 reps. So they pick a weight over here, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, they stop. All right, look at their watch. Say they're going to take a 60-second break before their next set. All right, well, what did I do wrong there? My form was really good. I controlled that weight throughout the full range of motion. I didn't pop it up and I didn't let it slam back down, okay? So I was feeling my chest contract. I was feeling the weight, all right? And I was getting a full extension and a full retraction at the bottom, okay? But how hard was that really? I mean, you guys, it's hard to describe, but you can just see it on my face. I can see it on their face when they're working out, okay? So the intensity wasn't there. I wasn't really out of breath. My muscles didn't start to burn, all right? And so that is the problem. Now, I'm gonna show you in a minute, okay, what real intensity is for me, and you'll be able to, I think, translate that to your own kind of facial expressions when you're working out. So let me talk intensity from a slightly different perspective now, because you know where this video is going. I'm talking about really pushing yourself hard and getting that intensity level up there high enough that you start producing the lactic acid, which sends the signals to your brain. Well, you can't do that for everybody. So I'm specifically talking to you new guys out there who are doing my Fit After 50 program and you're in phase 1. Well, I specifically give you instructions in phase 1 not to push yourself too hard. I don't want a real high intensity level. I'm talking today, this video is for you guys who have been working out for several months, all right? Your muscles are ready, all right, to be pushed hard, right? Your body has changed, your connective tissues, your joints, your mind-muscle connection, everything is ready to go to the next level. It's you guys, all right, and everybody beyond that need to start thinking about your intensity levels. And you know, one thing that might be pretty interesting for you guys who haven't really been pushing yourselves hard enough, that you don't have that intensity that I'm talking about, you ought to try getting your T levels checked first, and then really hitting your workout super hard with that high intensity for a couple of months, and then get your T levels checked again. That would be a real interesting test to see if you're working hard enough, okay? So, I'm going to do what I would consider a really intense set here. All right, this is what I want you guys to be going through. I'm picking a weight that I think I can do about 8 to 10 times, all right? So I'm shooting for failure somewhere in that range. I don't want to get to 10 and stop knowing I could have done another 2 or 3 reps. That's not the intensity I'm thinking about. All right, so here we go. 8, 9, 10. I can keep going. 11, 12, 13. Okay, so I knocked out 13 there. And I might have been able to get one more rep, okay? And I'm fine with you guys stopping, knowing that you might be able to get one more rep. That is intense enough. I was starting to feel, you know, some pain, a little burning sensation in my muscles. I'm actually just a little out of breath trying to talk to you guys about this. So I picked a weight that I thought I could only do 8 to 10 times, okay? Well, guess what? I got to 10, and I knew if there was a guy standing here with a gun to my head, I could do more reps. That's the mentality you guys have to have, okay? And it's not just that mentality here at the gym. I'm talking about all you guys at home doing Fit After 50, especially you guys that are in phase 3 or phase 4, okay? Phase 4 is a perfect example of this intensity level I want you guys to bring, because in phase 4 you start doing drop sets and rest pause sets and supersets. You end up doing a lot of reps, and that's when that lactic acid really starts to build up and you start to feel a burning in your muscles. But the more of that you feel, the more signals you send to your brain to just ramp up your body's production of testosterone and growth hormone. So guys, don't be like so many other people. The guys that never change, their physiques look the same month after month, year after year, even though they're working out, okay? It's because they're not putting in the effort. So you have to push yourself to see the results. All right, guys. I want to give you another analogy kind of while we're still talking about this kind of intensity mentality, and that is runners, Olympic athletes, all right? So you got the sprinters in one group and you got the long distance guys in the other. Just look at the difference in their physiques, right? So the sprinters are all really built. Those guys, you know, have got big muscles, they're ripped, all right? They just have fantastic physiques. Even their upper body is big. Their chest and arms and back and shoulders are all big, even though really all they're doing is just sprinting all out. It's all lower body mainly. Now I know you're pumping your arms when you're sprinting, but there's no resistance there. The long distance runners, on the other hand, they're doing aerobic, right? Constant, steady state running, and that just doesn't help with your testosterone levels. Actually, the amount that those guys do can actually lower their testosterone, okay? And that's something I talk about every once in a while. It's probably more likely going to happen in older men who do too much long distance running, long cardio sessions on a bicycle or just running or swimming. The sprinter mentality is what you have to have, and I don't mean necessarily running. I'm talking about sprinting hard with the intensity on the machines, okay? Or at home with the dumbbells and the bands, it doesn't matter. That is what's going to help raise your body's natural production of testosterone. And of course, that's where, remember, testosterone doesn't just affect muscle growth, it also affects your fat loss, right? It tells your body to more efficiently use fat as a source of energy. So, guys, you didn't get into this situation overnight, which means you're not going to solve your problem overnight. And that means you just got to stick with it and never give up on yourself.